Hey guys! So today I want to talk about a diabetic's worst enemy. And you might think I'm talking about sugar, but really I'm talking about doorknobs. Doorknobs are evil. Let me show you an example. So you're just walking along. Oh, whoa, 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 whoa. Oh, oh, oh. Don't you hate that? Do you see this? Do you see what happens? It gets caught on the doorknob. The doorknob just reaches out of nowhere and grabs your tubing. Now, most of the time I have my tubing neatly tucked into my pants. But if I've just changed my clothes or something and it just happens to be like out in the open, I always snag a doorknob. Now, the big worry of course is that my set is going to get torn out. But in actuality this has only happened like twice, and I don't think it was ever from a doorknob, but it's just that like feeling of like, oh my gosh, I can feel it pulling, oh my gosh, it's gonna rip out, and it's just really freaky, and it feels really weird, and you're just like all of a sudden like pulled back to the door. Oh my gosh, I hate it. It's like you're on a little leash, and someone just like yanks you back and is like, oh no, don't go anywhere. So this is like the #1 reason why I keep my tubing tucked in, because it will catch on anything. On numerous occasions, I've actually had it get caught on plants before, which is really odd, but story time. One time, my friends and I were going to have a sleepover, and one of my friends couldn't make it. She was sick. And so we decided to drive to her house, and we made little notes to put on her door, like her front door. And so we're like running back and forth and taping them on the door and having fun. And I run back, and my tubing gets caught. I guess it was hanging out. It gets caught on like this thorny bush thing, and I didn't realize it until like I was a little ways past it, and I realized like I couldn't go anymore, and I like untangle it and I go back in the car, and then when I'm in the car I'm like looking at it, and it is the most stretched out tubing ever. It's like long and skinny thin, and like it's all like looped up into these swirls, and I'm just like, oh my gosh. I couldn't believe it didn't break or like rip out my set. It just stretched it as long as it could go. So that was really weird. I did end up changing out my set and everything because I was like, I don't know if my insulin's going to be able to push through this like tiny tube. But that was a really weird experience. On a related note, also a weird feeling is when your pump drops out of your pocket. Basically, if you don't catch it, you can just like feel the tug on the set, and then it just hangs there, and it's like a constant like gentle pull, and it's never ripped out from this, but it just feels really weird. So now I've developed like this response to this, like an automatic thing I do without realizing it. It's like a reflex. So if I see my pump fall, and it is in my pocket, so by the time I see it falling, it's too low for me to really grab it. So what I'll do is I'll just automatically instantly drop to the floor because I want it to land on the floor and not pull on my set. So here's what that looks like. Alright, I'm going to purposely drop my pump now. I'm on carpet, don't worry. Basically, if I see it falling, this is what I do. Oh! Okay, we're good. No worries. We got it. This is just to avoid the feeling of it just hanging wildly. It's a very strange feeling. I don't know. It's not terrible, but I'd rather, especially if it's in my side, I'd rather just catch it on the floor. But it doesn't feel that bad, but right now it's in my leg, and so I have my pant leg kind of supporting it. But if it's on right here, it would feel even weirder. Spinny pumps! Woo! Don't try this at home. So, moral of the story, doorknobs are evil. Just kidding. Moral of the story, keep your tubing tucked in because it can be disastrous when you don't. Have a good day, guys. Bye. Real quick before you go, I just wanted to thank you guys for watching and remind you that if you want to see more videos like this from me, feel free to subscribe. Also remember to thumbs up this video if you liked it, and check out some of my other videos. So right here I'll put a link to my Top 10 Misconceptions playlist. I did Top 10 Misconceptions on Type 1 diabetes. Over on this side, I will put a tutorial on how to change an insulin pump set. And then down here at the bottom, I will put the video on my Top 5 Bad Habits as a Diabetic. And then right here, I'm going to put my video on, let's see, which one should I put? How about spotting diabetics in public? So if you want to check out some more of my videos, click anywhere, and while you do, I will briefly give you a beautiful dance. And click away. I'm a really good dancer, in case you didn't know. Ha! Joking! Okay then. Click the links. Bye! What should I talk about now? Any more stories from my mouth? Ba-da-dum, dum, dum.